Alright, I like to test out camping gear in the backyard. The other day I made this, but I think I'm going to rip it apart before I use it. It's 8 bales of straw. And you see here, the reason I'm not going to use it is that I'm mildly claustrophobic and I'm not going to get myself in there very comfortably. I've got the other end shoveled in. It would be very warm. Another reason why too is that really I want to be able to test my primarily sleeping bags against different temperatures, and you get yourself in there and the temperature will be quite a bit warmer than ambient temperature because the straw and the snow hold in the I mean, that's what you want. That's the concept of an igloo basically, or a quinzhee. But when you're testing your gear, you want to test the actual temperature that it's good to, and I've got some sleeping bags that I want to test. So I'm going to redo this into a different configuration, and it won't be as warm, but that's kind of what I want. Alright, this is a better configuration. I've only got 8 bales. They actually be better if I had probably 10, get a couple more. But 2 bales I just laid down here. 2 bales is about perfect for my height. I'm 5'8". I got a little bit of head and foot room, so they're probably 3-foot bales, I guess. I reused my end wall there. It's not fully closed in on the second layer. I'm going to throw a tarp over top of this, and then weight the tarp in with snow. Really, I need one more bale here to make a good second layer. But it's not, as I mentioned, it's not about warmth. I'd like to keep the wind off myself primarily and keep the damn raccoons out of me while I'm sleeping at night. Otherwise I just sleep right on the ground. I should note I've got several bales worth of straw on the ground here. This has kind of been a muddy spot in my yard where I've been working on canoes the last couple of years, and so I got all of these bales just to spread out here, provide some mulch. So it's nice and soft down here. Should be a little bit warmer ground. It's going down to -25 tonight, so do I want to test out my my coldest sleeping bag? We'll see. Alright, so I got my DD hammocks, 3 meter by 3 meter on top. Under it I've got another smaller mech tarp, just because it wasn't quite big enough. 3 basic problems with this setup. First one being obvious, that it's not camouflaged in the wintertime. I'm not using any snow stakes on the tarps. I'm just weighting it down with snow all over the place, which is fine for a backyard, testing out your gear. You know, if a strong wind comes up, if it gets really windy, these things will blow away. That's not ideal out in the woods for just backyard testing gear. So there's where I'll crawl in there. We'll have a look inside in a sec. Another problem obviously is that if there's any snow, it will accumulate on the top and cave the whole thing in. So I don't think there's any in the forecast for tonight anyway, when I hope I might sleep out. And the inside is kind of cozy. It will raise the temperature a little bit in there. We're going to have condensation issues because of the tarp. That's all okay. I'm right next to my house, not a big deal. I just want to test out some gear in the cold temperatures. We'll see how it goes. Alright, winter camping, you really shouldn't use an inflatable pad in my opinion, because inflatable pads, sooner or later, they always spring a leak. And in fact, last year at our Scouts winter camp, one of the Scouts sprung a leak. These things are rated for winter camping. They're closed cell. Evazote is the name of the material. Get them from Mountain Equipment Co-op here in Canada. Really good. I probably don't need 2 of them, but I have 2, so I'll throw 2 of them underneath. I've got a number of sleeping bags. I've probably got 4 or 5 sleeping bags that are good to -15. I got maybe 2 or 3 that are good to -20. This is the only one that I have that might be good to -25. So we'll give it a try tonight, see what happens. I forget what the rating is on it. I just looked for a tag on it and I couldn't find it offhand, but I know it does have a rating, and I seem to think it's -30. We'll see how good that rating is. Anyway, so this is the setup. I've also got a couple, I'll show them to you. I got a couple of temperature probes. I'm going to leave one outside and one inside so that we can compare the temperature between inside and outside and what kind of a difference it makes to have even a little structure like this. So we'll see about that as well. I may also berm this up a little bit here. The wind generally comes from the north. I put the door on the wrong end here. No big deal for tonight, but if I berm this up with snow, we should be able to take care of that problem pretty easily just with some snow. Dug out my stakes if I need them. Those are just big regular stakes. They're not snow stakes, but they should work. The snow is pretty hard. In case I need them, I got my army bivvy. This thing is just a overbag basically. It's relatively large, goes on top of your sleeping bag, adds wind resistance and a couple of degrees of warmth to it. So probably use that in conjunction with the Eureka bag there. And I'm going to take it all in the house now and warm it up, except for that. Because for one thing, these things are pretty solid where they are. I want to get them laid out. And I'd like that to be warm when I'm crawling into it. Alright, my reconfigured thing from the inside. I'm going to get into my bag soon. I got my bag, bivvy. I got 2 layers of foam pad, although I'm pretty sure I only need 1 layer. I got a temperature logger hanging there on the inside. Got another one hanging on the outside. And I'm getting kind of chilly because I got my jacket off. Gonna get in there. Well, I'm out here and it's -19, and I was expecting to be too cold, but I'm just cooking. I've already stripped off my socks and my long johns. And I'm figuring out what else I can strip off. I've been here, I don't know, an hour, a little bit more. And this sleeping bag is really good. It's supposed to go down to -25 tonight, and I'm just waiting for that -25 because maybe I won't be cooking quite so much as I am right now. Alright, it says, Google says it's -23. We're going to see what my temperature loggers say. It was, my sleeping bag is awesome. I had more trouble being too warm than too cold. We'll see if it did actually go down to -25 in my backyard after a little bit once I get the data off my loggers. In general, good night. A little bit too warm. You can see I didn't really use my my hood on my sleeping bag. I used a hat, but I did have the bag cinched up around my neck. I also have an inside collar on the bag that goes up around your neck. But, that was very useful. So this is a Eureka Amarok sleeping bag with a army bivvy over top of it. Worked really great. Now the tough part is always getting myself out of this nice warm sleeping bag into the -23 air so I can go into the house. That's the challenge. Alright, this is going to be an important test of my data loggers too. See if they even work at these temperatures. There's a guy's best friend in a tent is a pee bottle, and if you're not already using one,